Hello, my name is Dr. Ray Padilla. Today we're going to be demonstrating a procedure for a denture or partial denture repair. Oftentimes patients will come into the office with their flipper or their partial broken and they need it replaced immediately. This is a way that you can do it and send the patient out with a lab quality processed repaired partial or full denture. Same day, same appointment, using the Drufomat scan pressure pot and your acrylic denture or partial repair material. Usually when they come in, it's broken, obviously, like this. And what you need to do is you need to approximate the breakage and place it back into the correct position. The pieces now have been properly approximated and superglued into position. Our next step is to verify the placement of the approximated pieces in the patient's mouth to make sure that we have placed them in the correct position as far as fit, comfort. If it's a tooth involved, make sure the tooth is in the correct place with occlusion, etc. Now that the approximation has been verified in the patient's mouth and everything is correct, we will take an overimpression of the entire arch, mouth, and flipper, and or denture or partial to have a guide and placement of this broken partial back into a model so we can use our powder liquid combination to repair. The impression has already been taken, the model has been poured in stone, and the flipper or denture or partial, whatever is broken, has been verified with the model. We are now ready to repair with the monomer polymer denture repair liquid and powder. Our next step is to break the flipper again in the position where it was broken before so we can add the proper material to the flipper for repair. Now the flipper has broken in the exact same position that it had broken before. Our next step now is to remove a little bit of the acrylic and the excess super glue. You want to keep that very, very clean. So now I'm going to go to my lab engine. I'm going to use the micromotor, and I'm going to use a stone acrylic burr or a metal acrylic burr, and we're going to clean off these areas of the breakage. The areas of the breakage and the super glue have been now cleaned, all the super glue removed, and the acrylic has been cleaned with little notches placed in them to increase the surface area so the monomer polymer liquid powder acrylic material will get into those little nooks and crannies and give you a little bit better retention. Now we're ready to add the denture repair acrylic monomer polymer material onto the area that we've trimmed and cleaned on the broken flipper. So I'm just grazing the top of the material, and I'm going to place it right on that area, and you'll see it flow. Make sure you dip the brush in the liquid first and just touch the powder. It'll only pick up so much. And place it on that area. Now that we've completed placing the denture repair material on the model, we are ready now to place it in the pressure pot. Now we're going to place the pressure pot in the Drufomat scan simply by removing the tray and placing the pot with warm water. Now we're ready to place the model into the pressure pot with enough warm water to cover the entire model. There is no scanning or any programming necessary. Now that we've placed the monomer polymer repair material on the flipper, dropped it in the hot water bath, we are going to pressurize the system. Place the ring over the pressure pot, remove the heating element to the point of tension, press the white button to pressurize. Once you pressurize it, hit the negative button. So you hear it go all the way down past the 30. You want to stay at the 30 psi level for pressurizing. You do not want to go above the 30. Again, in review, by continually hitting the negative button, that will lower the pressure to a maximum of 30 psi. You leave it at that level for 5 to 10 minutes. Our next step is to trim and polish the excess acrylic repair material. We will use that with our lab Dremel and just trim the excess. Now I'm going to use my fine polishing brush to polish the adjusted acrylic. Now I've done my final polish with the fine brushes, and that does give a nice finish. However, I always like to go one step further and use what's called an acrylic sealer. It gives a fine, and you don't have to use the pumice wheel for your final polish. This is called Radica from Dentsply. Place about 1 drop on there. Get a brush and just paint it. This is a light cured material, so I'm going to place that in my Polylux light and let that cure for about 5 to 10 minutes. Here is the final polish using the sealer, the Radica sealer, and the Polylux light. There's your final seal. Now we're ready to place that in the patient's mouth. What we've done here, from start to finish, from the patient sitting in the chair to delivering the completed denture, partial, or flipper repair, is about 30 to 35 minutes. With a beautifully done, you can't even tell where the breakage was. There were 2 breaks, one right here and one where the tooth was.